Got it. Yay. Okay, I did it. Oh my gosh, you guys. I am so excited for this live video on Facebook. Please comment to let us know when you are watching. And if you're catching us on replay, just type in replay or type in we missed you. I missed you. I'm so excited for you guys to meet my friend. I have to tell you, this is very full circle moment for me. Okay. I have been in direct sales for over 20 years. And those of you who know my story, you know, I've talked about this 100 times now when I'm on stage, in our book, all that kind of stuff. But when I was first starting in direct sales, I had a major fear of public speaking, major fear. And when I entered into the direct sales space, I happened to join my very first company, which involved speaking to people in public in the front of a room and also cooking at the same time, which I did not know how to nor like to cook. I do like to eat, but I did not like to cook. And so having a gig where I was in front of a room cooking and speaking at the same time really freaked me out, like to the extreme. So, what do you do when you want to start something, but you don't know how? But you kind of also know in the back of your mind, if other people can do this, I can do this. Everything is figure outable. I can learn something. So I did something that I really didn't know at the time why or how it was all going to work out, but someone gave me a stack of cassette tapes. Now, back in the olden days, cassette tapes were these little pieces of plastic that you would put into the cassette player of your car. And you would listen, it had like actual tape, and you would listen to this audio, right? And I had a whole series of cassette tapes, things that would help me, things that would motivate me, things that would teach me. And one cassette tape in particular was by this woman named Belinda Ellsworth. And I got goosebumps just now because I would put her cassette tape in the tape deck of my car when I was driving to these home parties all over the area. And I would have her voice in my car stereo speakers playing and just telling me. She did amazing trainings, motivation, all these cassette tapes, but I would have her in my ear, basically, yes, training me, but also telling me, you're going to be okay. You're not going to die. Okay. Nobody's ever died by standing up in front of the room and selling kitchen tools. Okay. It's not going to happen. You're fine. She also gave me like words to say, just the confidence and the posture to know that, okay, she was also a beginner once, just like I am, and she did it. And she's literally telling me what to say in a half hour when I arrive to the party. So this moment right here, you guys, for my friends, you're watching, this is so full circle to me because it is my joy and my honor and truly such a privilege. My friend Belinda Ellsworth, I can actually call her a friend. I have been to her house. We were just saying we have been through some things. We have been through the direct sales multiverse together, okay, like multiple timelines for both of our lives. But she is a renowned speaker, a well sought after speaker. She is an author, best-selling author, keynote speaker, author, guru, goal setting guru, direct sales guru. She's a business strategist. She is like brilliant with time management. She just knows all the things that I know have filled my career and still do even to this day. The things that she teaches, the things that you'll learn from her are just, it's enough to where this one training could really set you on a different trajectory towards success. So Belinda, I am so excited that you're here with me. Thank you for pouring into my friends, my team, my tribe here in the online community I've built. And today she's going to talk to us a lot about, like, first of all, how to set goals, but also like how to actually achieve them. Okay. And we also have a giveaway. So make sure to enter in the link in the caption. She's actually going to be doing a giveaway live here on video.
Yeah.
Belinda, I'll hand the mic to you. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, my friend. And yes, I do consider us friends. When you go back 25 years and then you have a friendship, and we have shared a lot together. So it is my pleasure to be able to share with your community that you have built so well and done so well for yourself. So it's as the teacher and coming full circle, it's so amazing to see the student rise up and be the teacher and the leader herself. And that's the best thing that you can hope for in teaching someone else, is that they rise up to be able to take what you've taught them and do it themselves and inspire and motivate others. And that's what you have done. So it makes me teary-eyed. Thank you. No, I can't start getting teary-eyed right now. All right, so let's dive into this, guys. This is called, the name of this training is Make It Happen, how to be more proactive than reactive in your business. And so just to give you a little bit of preface on that, that is our theme going forward for 2024 is Make It Happen. I will be talking about the planner that I have available at the end of this presentation, and then that's what we will be giving away. But for the last 4 years, I've kind of come up with a theme every year. I started that during COVID because I thought we sort of needed a universal theme to push us through what was some crazy, uncertain times. So that first year was about focus, because we needed to focus. We needed to stay focused on our business. We needed to find new ways to focus on our business. The next year, I started talking to people and saying, like, what's going on with you? And a lot of people were like, I'm waiting for things to come back to normal. And I'm like, no, you have to dream, and you have to dream big, and you have to think about all the possibilities of where you want your business to take you. And so our theme for that second year, 2021, was to dream. And so then the next year, it was, I started talking to people and where are you? And people were kind of like, yeah, I'm sort of getting back in the swing of it, but I don't know. I'm just kind of in a funk. I don't know that I feel like I just can really, go after it. And I start one day and the next day I don't. And so what I really discovered that in that, and COVID had a much bigger impact on people than I think they really realize, is that they needed to find their passion again. And so last year was all about passion with purpose. And the reason that I really kind of wanted to preface that is because every one of these build on each other. So as I was sitting this year going, okay, what's our theme for this year? It's like, all right, the only thing left to do, guys, is get back in the saddle and get back to work, make things happen. COVID is in the rear view window. We're still kind of sometimes talking about it like we're still living it. And we need to now find our new normal. You might be doing business differently, but honestly, that is kind of the cool thing, is there is a multiple ways to work your business. And the really awesome thing is you get to choose the path. You get to choose the direction that you want to take, and how you really, what suits you and what suits your lifestyle. And wow, how awesome is that? And I think what a lot of people are get stuck in is, well, I don't want to do it like that anymore, or I don't want to do it like this, or, I'm not going back to doing that. And it's like, you need to do what you enjoy. You need to do what you like and what works for you. And so that's what I want to encourage everybody as we dive into this. The first thing that I do want to talk about is being intentional. And what's it mean to be intentional? Well, being intentional is where your actions align with your words. And so it's really easy for a lot of us to say, oh, I wish I'd love to sell $5,000 in a month, or, oh, I'd really love to earn this company incentive trip, or, oh, I'd really like to get promoted. But the real question is, well, what did you do today to help move you toward getting promoted? We can say it all day long. It's just like, I'd love to lose 20 pounds, but like, what did you do? Did you make good, healthy food choices today? Did you move? Did you, if you really want to get promoted, did you reach out to people and tell them about your business opportunity? Like, it is really important that you, when you say, this is what I'd really like to achieve, what have you done today to make that happen? And that's where I just want to start this with, we all make lists of things to do. I'm right there with you on list of things to do. I've always been a big proponent of, you should never have more than 10 items on your list, because then you're just making list of stuff that you're not really prioritizing, that probably don't matter. You're making excuses for things you don't want to do to get, do things that are time consuming, to get out of the things that really will move you forward. But what I discovered this past year in this regards to being intentional is lists of things to do are necessary tasks in most cases. Like yesterday, I had to go to the post office. That was a necessary task. I had to get orders to the post office, but it didn't really move my business forward. It helped deliver product to people, but it didn't grow my business. And there's a big difference between doing your business and growing your business. And lists of things to do often are the things you do to maintain or work in your business. And what I want all of you to do every day is just write 3 things down. 3, what can I do today to get me one step closer to my goal? What can I do today that is going to move the needle forward, that is going to move my business in forward motion? When you do that, and what I do is I check in with myself around 3:00. Have I done any of those? And the goal is every day that you do at least one. If you can get in 3, that would be amazing. But if every day you can do one thing that moves you forward in your business, wow, you're going to start to see growth. And then those things to do and follow up are just really the maintenance and the kind of moving your business along. So that is being intentional. So the next thing I really want to talk about is goals. And I swore this time, it's like this year, I was like, I don't know if I'm going to talk about goals. I do that every year. But here's the truth of it, my friends. I honestly can't help myself. So that's the truth of it. The truth of it is this last year, I decided to do something different. I was like, I don't want to do the same trainings that I've always done. So I picked like 20 different words. And I was like, I'm just going to look up. I did it. I Googled it. I chat GPT'd it. It's like top 10 ways to be more X. And they were decisive, successful, focused, committed, consistent, organized. There was, gosh, I don't know, 20 different words. And every single one of them, not 80%, not an 80, not 90, but 100% of those words in the top 10 was set effective goals. Think about that for a minute. It's in everything that we do and want to do to be successful. You need to be setting goals. It's at the heartbeat of everything. And yet, Laura, it is still only about 14% of people are setting goals. Only 3% of them write them down. And only 8% of them are achieving them. 8. That means 92% of people really are not achieving their goals, but it's because the 86% don't even have one. So then it questions, if you really want to have a business and you want to be successful, why in the world would you not set goals? And that's the question I've asked for years and years, because it's actually mind-blowing to me. I sit and I think, what? And so the number one reason today's world is fear of failure. It's fear of what other people think. It's fear that I don't want to put myself out there because then people will judge whether I actually did it or I didn't. The saddest one when I've asked people this question in focus groups is, I don't want anyone else having any expectations of me. And I just think, oh my gosh, what a way to think and to be. And in reality, the one thing I want to impress upon everybody here is, when you set a goal, it is just a benchmark. It doesn't really deserve that much. There is power in setting goals, but not in just the goal itself. It's just a benchmark. And we give it so much power over our lives that we don't even set one. And there is no failure in setting a goal. In fact, I did a whole training on this about 2 months ago, and it was really interesting to me. I've been really stretching myself to find new material to train, and it was, every time that you set a goal, you will experience growth. Every single time that you set a goal, whether you achieve it or you don't, you will experience growth just by going after it. So you think when we sit and we don't set one at all, we're not going after anything. That's where, for one of the quotes I've shared for many, many years is, random acts get random results. And if you don't have a goal, then you are just going through life every day in doing random motions, hoping to get a better result. And oftentimes you're not going to get the result that you really want. So let's talk about, if we know it's this important, then let's talk about how to set healthy goals and not only set them, but achieve them. So I will just share this one little story that a leader shared with me about a month and a half ago when I was doing this same training with their team. And she said, I really set my goal last year to earn our company incentive trip. And it was a cruise, and I was pretty excited about it. And I really went after it. I got started a little bit late, but I went after it. And she said, I did not end up getting that trip, but I added 16 people to my team. I doubled my income and I got promoted. And she said it was a huge amount of growth. And this year I was like, I'm not missing that trip because I knew not to wait to get started. I started from the beginning of when they launched it. And that's something that you learn about yourself. And that's something she experienced. And that's tangible when you're doubling your income. So I just want to encourage everybody in that. So first step of setting a healthy goal goes back to your why. You have to have why you're in it. What do you want out of it? Because if you don't, then you do not have an emotional attachment. And if you don't have an emotional attachment, it is just too easy when you first hit that roadblock or that speed bump to go, you know what? It's okay if I don't get this, it's all right. It's not that big of a deal. But if you have an emotional attachment to it, even when you come short, you're going to be like, that's okay. I'm one step closer. I'm one step closer to this goal. And that's exciting. So the first step is that why. Like, what do you want? And if you're going to set a sales goal, you really need to sit down and say, what is your income goal? I always set for even my business today, what is the income goal? What's the income goal for me to pay for the products, to pay for the salary of my team, to pay for my own salary, to have money to continue to grow the business. Like these are things as a smart business owner, you need to have and know what's your income goal, because only then can you really set your sales goals. If you just set a random sales goal, it's not going to have any significance or meaning. And I would encourage everybody on here, when you set that income goal, what would you do with that income? What would that represent for you, for your family? What are the things that are on your big bucket list that you really want to make happen? That's going to be the driver for you. The second piece of goal setting then is the benchmark that aligns with that. So if here's your income, then I need to sell $5,000 a month or $10,000 a month, whatever that looks like. So if it's $5,000 a month, that's your benchmark. So then you need to figure out, okay, how do I break that down into small, tangible actions that I can actually do on a regular basis? Which brings us then to step 3. This is more of the achieving the goal, and that is, what is your plan of action? If you don't have a plan of action, you are probably not going to do it. So the first thing that you want to do with a monthly goal, let's say, is you want to break that down to weekly. What do you need to do weekly? If it's $5,000, well, you need to sell $1,250. If you are doing your business strictly online, then guess what that is? That's 250. So it's $1,250 a week. If you're doing it daily online, it's $250 a day for 5 days out of the 7, because we'll let you have a break for 2 of them. You can take whatever 2 days you want to have your break. But honestly, if you said, okay, I need to sell 250, then you can become very proactive in your selling. And we're going to talk about that in just a moment. So those are the 3 parts of setting and achieving goals. So now let's talk about being proactive versus reactive. First of all, what does it mean to be proactive? Well, to be proactive means that you have a plan, that you are planning ahead, that you actually have a strategy. That can also be systems in place that allow you to be more proactive. Reactive is more acting in the moment, taking each day as it comes, saying, oh, I got a call today from a customer, maybe I'll place an order. So it isn't like, how many orders do I want to get today? What's my target when I wake up this morning? I always remember, this goes back, can't even believe I'm sharing this. I haven't shared this on any live training, but it's just a memory that popped into my head. But back when I was a teenager, me and my girlfriend worked at JCPenney. And so we got a job at JCPenney during the Christmas holiday season to make some extra income. And every single day they put on this big whiteboard what the daily sales goal was, and kind of broke that down for us. And then at the end of the day, they would end up telling us, or the next morning, they would say what it was. So every day, everybody was like, okay, are we going to hit our goal? If we hit it early, like they would ring this bell and we all knew it. And it made you more excited about your job and that you sort of were participating. But every day they had a daily sales goal of what number they needed to hit. And it just set the day, it set the pace. And so I want you to be more like aware of what do I need to make happen today. So that's proactive versus reactive. So let's talk about there's 6 key areas of your business where you can be more proactive than reactive. The first one is definitely in scheduling. One of the sayings, the other saying that I have is I've got a couple 3 now that I say all the time, but what gets scheduled gets done. If you don't have it scheduled, you are not likely to do it. So you have to get real clear about your schedule. Now I'm going to talk about this at the end, but I want to talk about the scheduling piece right as we are getting started here. So there are 2 calendars in this planner. There is the month at a glance, and then there's your weeks at a glance. This is your typical month at a glance calendar. It's dated just like a normal regular calendar. The only thing different about this one is the boxes all have tiny 4 little boxes within each dated box. That is to track your power hours or your income producing activities, which will make a huge difference in your business. So when you open up your planner, your date book, and you open up that month at a glance, which I highly recommend doing at the first of every morning. That's what I do. I just open it up and I say, okay, great. What not only do I have today, but what do I have in 3 weeks from right now? What do I have in 2 weeks from now? Oh gosh, the 3rd week of this month, I got a completely blank week. I need to get something in there. You should always be looking ahead 2 to 3 weeks in your business. We can always schedule things last minute for sure, and we certainly have openings and times to do that. But if you wait to the last minute to do everything, you're going to find yourself with weeks of no business. So always be looking ahead. When it turns about the 15th of the month, you want to start looking ahead to the next month as well and just saying, okay, what do I have those first 2 weeks? When you turn that page over at the beginning of a month, you should already have a sprinkling of things on that calendar. And if you don't, well, then you're already behind. You're already behind the 8 ball on this. So if you will start to work in a rotation and think about your schedule and think ahead on your schedule and become more proactive with it, you are actually going to always show up and have work to do. I love it when I just wake up and I get out of bed. I'm a very habit oriented scheduler too. Like I know what Mondays look like. I know what Tuesdays look like. Like some people will say to me, can you do it on Tuesday? And I'm like, no, Tuesdays are jam packed all the way from 9 o'clock in the morning till about 10:30 at night. So it's my marathon day, but then I take kind of Wednesday as a light day. So like, that's the kind of things you need to be thinking about. But I already know that. I know when my feet hit the ground that it's my podcasting day, that I'm going to meet 3 awesome entrepreneurs and get to hear their story. And that's fun too. And I had today was no exception to that. All right. So next we have the weeks at a glance. And I really did this different this year based on the feedback that I had gotten from so many people. What everybody said was, I wanted to start at 6 a.m. and I wanted to go to 10 p.m. Well, that's tricky, my friends. So what we did is we did Monday through Thursday here, which is your actual work week. And we actually have the 6:30 in the morning to 1:30, and then 2 p.m. to 10 p.m. is in the second column. Because all of your schedule is up here and not going all the way down the column, this allows you to really go in there and do time blocking and time batching. Time blocking and time batching is what allows you to be more proactive with your daily schedule so that you start to know, like I know every Tuesday, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and 3 o'clock, I have podcast interviews. I already know it. It's already blocked. I don't do anything else in there. And I know that I'm going to be doing that. If you have a specific time that you want to make calls, prospecting calls, or networking calls, pick the best time. Highlight that off in your calendar. So then we have the pink column is your things to do. The yellow column is the follow-up from those things. And then the blue here is your 3 connect calls. These are those calls that are going to move your business forward. I try to have at least 3 of these a day, whether I'm connecting with somebody new, I'm connecting with someone old, or I'm just like connecting with somebody. So like I try to catch up with people I haven't talked to in a while, try to meet somebody new, but that is going to help you to be more proactive with your scheduling. The next one is systems. And what are systems? Systems are things that you put in place that you do on such a routine basis that your brain doesn't even hardly have to think about it. That will make doing your business easier when you don't really have to think about it. So, giving you an example, what are some areas? Well, one of those areas definitely could be in prospecting. Do you have a system for that? Do you have, if somebody were to ask you about your business, do you have like everything on a desktop in an electronic folder that you can literally, if someone says, I'd love some info, that you could literally go click and send. You don't have to go hunting for it in your back office. You don't have to figure out where that lives. What is your system for customer care? You know, forever I've taught a 2 + 2 + 2, 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months. Which is still so effective. I see other people doing it in lots of industries. And so, do you do that? Do you reach out to somebody 2 days after they've made a purchase? Thank you so much. 2 weeks later, how are you enjoying your purchase? Do you have questions? Like these are the kinds of things that's a system. And maybe you have a checklist somewhere. Maybe you do it through a CRM. Maybe you do it in an online application like Trello, or you use it in some other way. I don't care how you do it, but you need to have like, oh, here's my customer and I do checkbox 1, 2, 3. There we go. Lead generation, like where do you have your leads at? Where do they live? You should be able to get your fingers on those leads at any given time. Social media is a system, and we will talk about that and briefly because I've got the queen of social media sitting here. So I don't need to go into massive detail, but I will talk about it just a little bit. That's a system. Using a content calendar is a system so that you don't have to think, what should I talk about today? If you do online events, do you have, here they're numbered. Do you have a system for doing webinars? A checklist. Here I do a webinar. I've got the invite that goes out, the thank you page that goes with it. I've got this email that happens after that. I've got follow-ups. Like, do you have a system for doing webinars? So these are all of the things that you really want to sit and take a look at. The third, as I mentioned, is social media. And the biggest thing with that in being proactive with your social is not being afraid of it. It is in the content calendar. So many people, when I talk to them, they go, oh my gosh, Belinda, the content calendar just overwhelms me. And I have to tell you, social media wasn't easy for me in the very beginning. It was tough. And for somebody that's been on stage hundreds, if not 1,000 times, and spoke to thousands of people. I mean, some conferences alone were 16,000 people. It's like, I would get so nervous going live and my brain would go, I don't know what to talk about. Like I have 50,000 things to talk about and my brain would go, I don't know what to say. I don't know what to talk about. And I would go through this all of the time. And it wasn't till I started taking this blank calendar, just print it offline and then say, okay, well, what am I going to do on Mondays? What do I want to do on Tuesday? Which day do you want to go live? Write that in, live, 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 live. Like, so if it's Tuesday, then what other days do you want to post? Do you want that to be Monday? Do you want it to be Thursday? Do you want to do Saturday morning? Here's the thing that at least I know about social media, and Laura can certainly correct me, but what I know is it almost doesn't matter what time or when, it's consistency that matters more than anything else. That's what I've learned from all of the social media gurus out there. So I'm glad she's agreeing with me. It always makes me nervous when you share something with somebody else that's an expert. So, but the thing is, so it doesn't matter. But what matters is that you, and so when you say, okay, Monday, I want to do a motivational quote, it's going to be Motivation Mondays. Then you just have to sit down on a Sunday, twice a month, and say, okay, I need 6 posts. That's it. 3 for this week and 3 for next week. I'm going to go live. Then I go back to my lives and go, okay, what do I want to talk about on a live? And here's the other thing that I need everybody to understand is, and this goes into the next, it sort of starts to sort of move into the next category of what we're going to talk about, but which is selling. You need to be proactive in selling. And so when you go live, the biggest thing that I hear from people about what makes them nervous about going live and talking about maybe some of their products is that they feel like they have to do something new every single time they go live. And in reality, like, first of all, only about 6 to 20% of people are even seeing that. So the chances are that you went live and then you went live again, that every single person saw it again, is highly unlikely. The second thing is they say that it takes about 13 times now for people to see something online before they actually take action. So if you did talk about it, like if say you have a bundle or a special and you talk about that, and then you talk about it again 7 days later or 5 days later, and then you talk about it again 5 days later, guess what? Different people are going to see it. And so what if one person saw it all 3 times? By the third time, they're like, dang, I need to get that. that bundle sounds amazing. And that product sounds amazing. So I need to get it. So don't stress yourself out thinking you have to come up with new items and new content every single time that you go live. In fact, before there was social media and before there was the internet, and yes, I did the business back then, and I would just pick my own special, and I would say, here's the featured item of the month. And I would just make phone calls and I would stick with the same one for the whole month. And guess what? I just would have a target. So we are moving into proactive selling. You need to determine, like we said, $250 a day or $100 a day, whatever it is you want to sell. It's like, which of those products are going to take you there? What's my focus on that product? And how many of these would I like to sell today? What's my goal for the day? Just like that goal that we had for a daily sales goal. So it's really important that you are saying, okay, this bundle, this little product, these 3 products here is $125. Gosh, I only need to sell 2 of these. So as you're talking to people and as you're making those calls and as you're going live and as you're, comment below, private message me if you have questions. I'd be happy to jump out of Zoom and answer any of your questions. Make sure that you're doing Zoom checkouts with people, because if they don't know how to, the abandoned cart scenario this year is the highest it's ever been. We've seen it ourselves. And I've also done research in e-commerce and people ordering online. It's like at 69%. And so, guys, why would you want to put that in the hands of somebody? Why not say, hey, let's jump on here together. Well, I'll help you with your order. I'll help you make your decisions. That's why people abandon carts. It's either too hard, they're confused, they weren't sure what to order, and so they abandoned the cart. So I just want everybody to remember that as well. And this really gets into that proactive selling. The next one is, so the next topic is customer care. And this is another mind-blowing one for me. People are so afraid of doing customer follow-up. And yet it is the golden ticket to anything that you will do. It's the golden ticket to satisfied customers. It's the golden ticket to reorders. It's the golden ticket to referrals. It is the golden ticket to loyalty and keeping people for a long period of time. It's what you do. And yet people are so afraid of it, so they don't do it. And what is so amazing to me is the thing you fear the most, the thing that you fear the most in doing it is that people will say no to you and that they're going to be put off. But in reality, with all the focus groups and research that I've done, it's the lack of your customer care that puts people off. And that's why they don't want to continue to do business with you. It is not you're reaching out to them. Even if you have a consumable product, Even if you have an auto shipped product, guess what? Just because they're on it and they're ordering, if they don't hear from anybody and they don't have anybody checking in on them to say, how's it going? How are you doing? I've been thinking about you. Man, oh man, they're just going to say, it doesn't matter if I continue to do this or not. So what does it matter? What's it matter if I do it? I remember I had a wine club membership for many years. So every month we got a bottle of white, a bottle of red. And we did that for years. And we're not massive wine drinkers here. So we would always have it, but it was great to have it on hand if we went to events or parties or, whatever, if we took along to somebody else's house. And then we had it here. And I probably, if somebody would have ever called in the end and just said, hey, how's it going? Or, nothing, never heard. So then after a while, I was like, why am I ordering this? We're not even, I did it because the person was like working on a trip and they asked me to sign up and do it. Okay, great. Yeah, I'll do that for you. Never didn't hear anymore. So then you quit. But just, I might not have quit. In fact, I kind of miss. Like now we got to go, oh, got to stop and get some wine. We're going to so-and-so's house. I loved going down and just whipping it and having it. So these are the kinds of things that you want to be thinking about. And so what's your system for customer care? When I said that 2 + 2 + 2, 2 days is gratitude. Thank you. And even I have to say, I ordered something for my grandson a couple weeks ago online. And I got the regular email saying, your order's on its way. Here's the tracking number, like we often do. But then the very next day, which puts it in about that 2-day time frame, I got this lovely email saying you matter. And it was because it was a sports item that I got. And it said, whoever you bought this for is sure to love it. And it's going to make a difference for them because of blah, blah, blah. But you have made a difference in the lives of 3 dads who started a business to help support their kids. And I read that and went, oh my gosh. Now I've already told this story how many times, right? I know how it made me feel. It made me reassess my own 2-day letter that I have going out. And I just thought, I didn't even speak to them. And I still felt like, wow, I made a difference in somebody else's life. And that creates a sense of feeling valued and importance. So I want to make sure that that 2-day is so important, whether you're sending a video recording or a message or an email or picking up the phone, whatever it is, how you want to do it. It's just super important. 2 weeks is like, I just wanted to call and check in and see if they've even gotten it out of the box. We like to refer to this as the out of the box call. Have you started on your program? Have you used your product? If they haven't, you're never going to get a single testimonial. So, and this is where you get the most awesome testimonials. People will tell you, yes, oh my gosh, I love it. I loved this, or it's already been so great. And then you get to use that when you're talking to other customers. This is where you can also confirm if they're not in your group, get them in your group. If you don't have their email, get their email. So this is great for future follow-up as well. And then from there, you can put people in your customer community group. But I would say if you do have a consumable product, at least that first time at that 2-month mark when they're likely to run out, you should probably be checking in with them, because don't leave it to them to reorder. You got to create a habit pattern of reordering. Then you might not have to do it every 2 months. So that's just a little bit on customer care. And the last one is analytics. This is my other great quote. What gets tracked sees growth. And guys, you should be tracking. And that's why in the planner, I have a whole area for analytics, because if you don't know what you sold like this time last year, how do you know what you're striving for? Do you want to beat that by 10%? Do you want to try to aim for 20% increase? Like you don't know what to make your target of if you don't know what you're actually capable of doing or what you did. Adding new customers is key. So like, how do you have a goal for how many new customers would I like to add this month? 5 a week, or maybe it's just 2 a week, whatever that looks like. You should have a very specific goal. We've got some of those numbers in here for you. So Laura, that's our training for tonight, but I would like to take a minute and talk about this awesome planner that we have. So this is our everyday entrepreneur planner. And guys, this is not just a calendar. It is a planner. And it allows you to what? Plan what you're going to do. It actually, because it's so, talk about goal setting in here, we don't let you forget about your goal. We're going to help you set an annual goal, then a quarterly goal, then a monthly goal, and then we're going to work on it on a weekly basis. Now, this lines up with everything I just taught you. Where does it all begin with? Vision. Here's your vision board. This is your why. Take the time. Have fun with this. Make this a brand new year project. Then what do we go to? It goes to your goal setting over here. And then it goes to what? Your plan of action, your big rocks. Like, what are my campaigns for the year that I really want to do? These are just some helpful tips for social and giving you some ideas for a content calendar. And then, guys, it goes to what? Work-life balance. And why do we have work-life balance on here? Because I heard this training by Jack Canfield many, many years ago. If you just have business goals, you are not going to be satisfied. You need to have goals in different areas of your life because it makes you more balanced and makes you feel like, wow, I'm kind of on target. Then we have these what? Quarterly goals. Now you get to break it down quarterly to what your goal is, but you also get to figure out your campaigns for all 3 months. What are you going to do in those? Like, oh, January, what do I want to focus on in January? That helps with social. It helps with your activities. Then every month we revisit it again. Here's your goals. Here's the people you want to call or contact. Here is your product focus of the month. Here are your live videos of the month. And here is your analytics. And guys, this continues through the entire planner. I've already shown you the 2 calendars, but this is your month at a glance. And the one thing I do want to point out here is, see this little gold icon? That means there's a video associated with this page. And there are 26 videos throughout this planner that help teach you how to use it, but more importantly, also inspire and motivate you to stay on track. That continues through the whole thing. And in the back, you've got this double-sided pocket. You've got a fun page of stickers, which everybody loves. And then something kind of new that we started doing is here in the back. This is a page of worksheets. Now everybody wants to keep everything on paper, like a monthly budget. So I don't want to take up space in the planner for that. But if having a monthly printed budget is important to you, then just download it and print it. And there's 6 different ones on here to help you with different areas of your business. So Laura, that's our planner, which is amazing. And right now it is 20% off, which makes that planner, which is crazy, $43, which is insane. A planner of that size, the average one is about $70 for a 300-page planner. Now we also have this awesome box of goodness. And this is the Everything You Need to Succeed bundle. There's all kinds of wonderful things inside that. You get the planner and then 2 core pieces that are going to help you in your business. You know, skill sets is one piece of it. And the planner is focused on all of your skill sets, your organization, time management, goal setting, all those things. But mindset is equally as important. And this art of self-discovery, we've picked 12 sort of key areas of your life and given you areas to work through that. This isn't just a blank journal. Like every page has something for you to do to kind of get out of your own way in these 12 different categories of your life. The other thing that is important for success is a positive attitude. That's why we have the gratitude journal. And using a gratitude journal is the number 1 way to keep a healthy, positive attitude. It allows you to stay focused on what's working, not on what's not. A couple of fun extra goodies. We've got the top 10 things to do Post-it notepads. We've got magnetic bookmarks, a set of awesome 12 markers, felt tip markers, and then this really great set of positive affirmation cards. And these are, Laura pointed out, she thought they were tiny cards. They're like 5 by 7. They're like having a little mini poster in your room, and they come with a little, Laurel will have to show the card holder because I can't find mine right now. It comes with a little card holder, so you can actually put those in your office or your bedroom or wherever you want to put them. Now that package is valued at $186 and it normally sells for $129. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? Sells for $129. But right now, because of the 20% sale, guys, it's $103. $103. You can get that entire box of awesomeness. And there's 10 items in there. So it really makes it a very good deal. And we do have Sezzle available, so you can split that into 4 payments. So think $25 a payment. So there you go. All right. That's it, my friend. That's what we have for everybody.
I was just thinking like this, it ships pretty fast, right? Like the planner, this box, that sort of thing. You guys, this would make such a really awesome gift. I mean, this box, like you don't slap a bow on it and you're done. Okay. So like, this is the easiest gift ever because it's already cute. Like it's already so freaking cute. I cannot even say, first of all, I'm a sucker for stickers. Okay. So like all these things that are in here, you stick a gold bow on that and you are done. You don't need to think. You don't need to turn on your brain. Okay. If you're overwhelmed, it's like, it's a whole business in a box. Like I'm obsessed with it. It's so good. And here's one of the things I don't want, she didn't mention this because she's too humble. So I'm going to say it for her because that's what friends do. This planner it's like all the planners that you go up and down like stationery stores or the aisle of whatever planner department, okay, whatever you're going through. And all of the planners out there, like there's some pieces and parts that are pretty good, right? You're like Franklin Covey, like all these kinds of, and there's good pieces of those planners, but none of them have all the pieces that you need as an entrepreneur. Like there's little things that you would have to buy 19 different planners to have all this stuff. And I just for the record, like I'm not commissioned. Okay. This is not like, I'm just saying this, like, this is not a commission type thing, but this is, if you want to hit your goals and you also want training as you go, she's way too humble about this planner. This is her entire, like, I want to say like her life's work is in this book. She has dumped her brain into this book. And I can tell, because I mean, I've been following her brain for upwards of 20 years. So I can say that. One of the things that I really liked about it when I was thumbing through it is every month there's also like a theme of just kind of like your theme of the month. And so like this one for the month is called Be Unshakable. Right. And it literally isn't just, oh, set your timer and time block your time and all that. It literally is telling you all of the character traits and all of the things that you need to have inside to be a really successful entrepreneur long term, not just to hit your fast start bonuses, not just to hit your ranks or whatever. It's to have a sustainable business long term. You need to be unshakable. You need to be extraordinary. You need to be influential. Like all these things, be present, be authentic, be productive, be honorable. You guys, those are the traits of a highly successful entrepreneur. And if you're in social selling or direct sales, you need that too. So she's not just like, here's a calendar, good luck. It's really, truly like training and a planner all in one thing. So it's really phenomenal. I mean, seriously, it's really, really great.
Thank you. You know, awesome. So when I first was approached, this is our 7th year, about 10 years ago, I was approached by a couple of CEOs and they said, you should create a planner. And I said, oh gosh, I don't want to get in the planner business. And certainly there's one out there. So I went on a search and I ordered about 10 different ones. And there really wasn't. There wasn't one that had everything that I thought would help people to stay focused, be on top of it. So then we went along for the last 6 years and I've made tweaks along the way. But this year it was getting a major facelift. And so I thought, I wonder what's out there now. Like there's been a lot of movement with planners. So I ordered like 20 of them. So when she tells you that you could go through the aisles, I mean, we ordered 20 different of the top ones and just said, like, am I missing something or what's in here? Or when people tell me, well, I use the such and such planner, I can say, yeah, but they don't have this, or they do have this. And there was one out there that's really popular. It's on TikTok a lot. And they show it all filled in. really colorful and all these different colors and all these great drawings, artistic drawings on each page. And the reality of it is, guys, if you buy that planner, it's just pretty blank. And there's no prompts and there's no leading you and there's no guiding you. And so, yeah, if you're a good artist and you are on top of it and you're self-motivated every single day, then that planner might work for you and you can make it look just as amazing as theirs. But if you're not, which is about what, 86% of people, then that means you need some prompting and you need some guidance and you need help along the way. And that's why our planner is the way that it is.
It's seriously phenomenal. And it's a steal. Like, this planner really should cost like 3 times that much. So I'm just going to say, as your friend, I think you should charge more. So, I mean, starting tomorrow, because let my friends get it at a total steal. Okay, on this one. So y'all go get it. And you've entered to win. Like, a lot of people have entered to win one. So that's really fun. So stay tuned because that's happening. But I'm going to be telling her behind the scenes that I think she needs to jack up the price of this thing. So y'all need to do it before she takes my advice. Okay, that's my 2 cents.
All right. Well, I do want to do a lucky winner tonight, Laura. You can kind of see everybody there. So our winner tonight is Kim Saucer.
Yay!
Do you know Kim? Sauser.
That sounds familiar.
Yep. So that Kim is our winner tonight. Do we have lots of people on Facebook? Are you able to see that?
Yeah, we've had consistently 30 to 40 viewers so far. There's like 200 comments.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
There's lots of activity happening here.
Oh, good. I can't wait to go in and afterwards and take a peek at it. And I'll answer any questions for people. Do you see any questions there right now?
One of the questions that I had that I saw in the chat too was about power hours. Can you like briefly, and this is something, boy, talk about like uncovering like, oh my gosh, like an archaic ancient thing that's been embedded in my DNA forever. I mean, I learned about power hours from you forever ago, and I still use power hours in my mindset and I still teach it to my team too. But can you just talk about that? What is a power hour? It's in your planner too.
It is. And there's a whole 40-minute training on that. On that page, there's a video that goes into it, like really in depth, but I'll do this real super short version. It's where first you have to identify what are your key 4 income producing activities. So for everybody in every business, it's going to be maybe slightly different. But what is it? And so then those things you are going to do for at least 15 minutes in a day, no matter what. And if you're even doing the business part-time, a good sort of structure is to do it 2 to 3 times a week. If you want to be more serious about your business, 4 is enough, believe it or not. So 4 times in a week to do a power hour is good. The amazing thing about the 15 minutes is for people that are afraid of like customer care, it's like it gets you into a habit of, I just have to do this for 15 minutes and then I can be done. And pretty soon you'll realize that you love doing it for 15 minutes and you'll want to do it more. So it helps you kind of push through that. But it also allows you to maximize your time because you can do anything in 15 minutes. Like you literally, I mean, I've raised my kids on this power hour. And, my youngest one, especially, like if I'm going, oh no, I haven't done this. One time I remember we were going to Europe and we were going to be gone for 2 weeks, a week in Paris and a week in London. I hadn't packed yet. And finally she goes, okay, this is it. You have 15 minutes, go. And I was like, okay, she was like 11. So I was like, okay. And I was like, I almost packed for that whole 2-week trip in 15 minutes. Like I can clean my entire kitchen from unloading my dishes, cleaning out the sink, sweeping the floor in 15 minutes. Like it's mind blowing of what you can get done in 15 minutes. So it does really start to sort of train your brain to not like waste, because ask yourself, how many 15-minute increments do you waste in a day? That's when it starts getting real. Like it gets real then.
I mean, it's one of those situations too. Like, have you ever you've got like on your calendar you're going on vacation, or you're going to something and it's going to be all day long and you won't have your laptop and you won't have your phone available, like you're going to be at an event or whatever. So you are able to cram in a ton of work, a ton of stuff into however long you have, right? A few days, a few hours, whatever. You can get done so much more than you think, because especially now, I mean, this is even different than it was 20 years ago, where now I catch myself like scrolling. I'm just going to go to Facebook to answer a few questions or to post something in my customer group or to do a couple reach outs. But because my business is 99%, 99.9% on social media, I have to be really disciplined of
Mhm.
when I go and I get my work done. I'm doing that stuff first. I'm doing the reach outs. I'm doing the follow ups. I'm doing the customer care, and all of that stuff first, because that's most important. Then I can go scroll and engage, because it is an income producing activity for me to
Yeah.
scroll. Okay. It is part of my job to scroll social media. Okay. So, but I'm scrolling intentionally of contributing, having conversations, engaging on people's posts. Like to me, that is an income producing activity, but I still do it after the other stuff that's
Yep.
really the nuts and bolts, because that's really what moves the needle in your business. So like it's just prioritizing, and just
Mhm.
having it, y'all, for your type A neurotic types like myself, it feels really good to check stuff off.
It
Okay.
does.
I'm just saying, it's a dopamine hit. It's good.
Oh
This
my
has been
gosh. Well,
awesome.
Laura, thank you so much for doing
Of
this.
course.
Thanks to all of your team. I do have another one starting at 9 and they're already like, where are you? So this has been so much fun. It has, and I just absolutely love you to pieces. So thank you
I
for
love
doing
you too. I love you too. It's a joy and an honor. Thank you so much for being here with my friends, my tribe, Belinda Ellsworth. You guys, I put the link in the comments. Go check it out. Go get you one. Go get some gifts, and we'll see you guys on the next video.
All
Bye,
right.
everybody.
Bye.